It's the beginning of a new year. I need to make an annual report. I am becoming a YouTuber in 2022. I am not a professional modeler or resin artist. It happens that I am interested in both modeling and resin. So I try to make this channel. I am grateful for everyone's tolerance. I have a lot of mistakes in my work. But you all still give me support. In the coming year, I will work harder. I will make excellent works to give back to you. I hope you can keep witnessing my progress. Let's review all the works in 2022. This is my first resin model work. At that time, I didn't realize that so many people had studied the Titanic in depth. So this work was pointed out to have a lot of mistakes. From that point on, I knew I couldn't be sloppy with the model. Currently the most popular work in the channel. I even considered optimizing this work once more in 1/700 scale. When I was making this model, every moment I felt a sadness. Even if everyone said I used the wrong music at the end. Everyone told me I should have used the theme song of the movie. But I think this music is the only way to set off the sadness of this scene. Britannic is the first piece that I used a lot of resin. This one piece uses twice the amount of resin as the Titanic. This is not because I was concerned about the cost of the resin. Rather, it was because the more resin I used, the more likely the piece would fail. Because of this, I lost 2 days of sleep. I couldn't let up for a moment with my eyes on the resin. This was also the first time I modified a model. Obviously, this transformation was a failure. The Bismarck battleship also uses a lot of resin. But I already have the experience of controlling it. This is my first time to put together a battleship model. I don't know much about the history. So there are still a few mistakes. I hope that when I make the battleship Bismarck again I can avoid these mistakes. The idea of this work originated from my reading of the White Star shipping materials. When I learned about the fate of the three sisters, I decided to bring them back to life. If one day they could be rebuilt, how exciting would that be? The Kursk. To be honest, whenever I see those windows I drew, I can't help but laugh. I should practice my hand painting skills. This is the first time I've done an aging effect, so I went too heavy-handed. There's too much rust. It doesn't matter, let it rust. I think the most regrettable thing is the color of the resin is too dark, so you can't clearly see the details underwater. Many people who were there to see the work said it was the best work, but it was also the least popular piece. The idea and concept of this work is very good. The moment when the Flying Dutchman bursts out of the water from the bottom. Unfortunately, I don't have any experience in making water splashes yet. I couldn't make a very realistic splash effect. It's not the most trafficked work, but it is the best work of word of mouth. I've read all the reviews about this work. I finally feel like my efforts are being seen. This was my first time using a 3D printer. The 3D printed bottom of the boat you see here. This is the result of 5 failed attempts I went through. After the model was made, I spent a whole day thinking about whether to make it into a wreck. I wasn't confident that I could make the old one look good. Fortunately, the end result is quite good. The wreck of the Titanic. In fact, I should have done this a long time ago. But I didn't want to do the usual wreckage model. So I came up with the idea of doing a submarine exploration. I ran into a lot of problems. For example, the scale of the exploration ship was affected by battery problems. The wiring of the submarine. There were also too many gaps in the wreckage, which would cause a lot of air bubbles. Finally, it was hard to make him out. Although there are some implausible points, but I like it. Okay, this is the end of this year's annual report. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you again in the next year's annual report. Happy New Year!